Hey everyone, my name is Christopher Andrade and welcome to class 1 of the most complete free crypto course on internet. Now, before we dive in, let me introduce myself so you know that I'm qualified to explain this topic. I have worked in the biggest crypto companies around the world, DYDX that trades more than $1 billion per day, BingX that have more than 20 million users and sponsor of Chelsea FC, Bitmart that also trade more than $1 billion per day. I have seen this industry from the inside, and I know what works and what do not works. Over the next 4 classes, I'm going to take you from the absolute beginner to someone who confidently can understand crypto and Bitcoin and knows how to invest safely and can explain Bitcoin to your friends without getting weird looks. And here's the best part. After the end of this course, you will be able to get a free professional certificate that you can add to your LinkedIn profile. So whether you are completely new to crypto, you have heard about Bitcoin, but do not really get it, or you have seen terms like DeFi, dipping, stable coins, DEXs, RWAs floating around and having no idea what they mean, this course is for you. I'm going to break down everything in plain English with real examples. No confusing jargon, no technical nonsense, just clear explanations from someone who has actually worked in the space. By the end of this course, you'll be able to understand why crypto is reshaping the entire global financial system, and you'll be able to navigate with confidence. So let's get started with this class number 1. Before we dive in, let me quickly show what we are going to cover in this complete course. Class 1, today's class, we're going to cover what is cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin fundamentals. We will cover the basics, the history, and why it matters. Class 2 will be about blockchain technology and the crypto ecosystem, how blockchain works, plus I will explain all those confusing terms like Ethereum, altcoins, DeFi, DEXs, stablecoins, and more. Class 3 will be about wallets, what is a wallet, security, and how to buy your first crypto, protecting your assets and getting started safely with lessons from real-world exchanges. Class 4 will be about understanding the market, deep in RWAs, and the future, prices, understanding also volatility, investment basics, emerging sectors like real-world assets, and decentralized physical infrastructure, where the crypto is heading. By the end, terms like DeFi, dipping, RWAs, and stablecoins will not sound like an alien language anymore. You will know exactly what they mean and why they matter. Each class builds on the previous one, so I recommend you watching them in order, but they are also designed so you can jump to a specific topic if you need to. And remember, complete all 4 classes and you will get a free certificate. Just head to blockberg.com after finishing class 4 to claim it. All right, let's start the class. Now, you might be thinking, why should I care about cryptocurrencies? Why should I care about crypto? I'm doing fine with my regular bank account. Let me give you some perspective, okay? Right now, in 2025, over 420 million people worldwide owns cryptocurrencies. That is more people than the entire population of the United States. Major corporations like Tesla, Strategy, and BlackRock have added Bitcoin to their balance sheets. We are talking about billions of dollars. Entire countries like El Salvador have made Bitcoin legal tender. So you can literally buy your coffee, your groceries with Bitcoin there. Wall Street banks that once had called Bitcoin as a scam now are offering crypto trading services to their wealthiest clients. So here's the reality. Whether you love crypto, hate it, or do not understand it, it is reshaping the global financial system as we speak right now. And here's the thing, you do not have to become a crypto investor, but understanding how this technology works is no longer optional. It's like understanding how the internet works in the year 1999. Some people said that the internet was a fad. Why would I need the email when I have a phone in my hands? They said, well, we know how this turned out. Fax machine is also a very nice example. Crypto is the same. We are not going away. The crypto community is not going away. And the sooner you understand that, the better positioner you're going to be for your future, talking about money, businesses, and the internet itself can be a great ally, not just business wise, but for your life. So let's start with the fundamentals, okay? So what exactly is a cryptocurrency? At its core, cryptocurrency is a digital money, but it's not like the digital money in your bank account. Let me explain the difference. When you check your bank balance in your phone, you are looking at digital numbers, but that money, it's not really yours in your bank, in your phone screen. It is in a bank computer system. The bank controls it. The bank can freeze it. The bank can charge fees to access it. And the government can tell the bank what to do with your money. Cryptocurrencies are different. A cryptocurrency is a digital money that exists on a decentralized network of computers around the world. So when I mention here decentralized, it means that this system should not belong to any person specifically. Nobody has the power to shut it down. No single bank can control it. No single government controls it. You control with something called a private key, which we'll talk in details in class 3. But just keep in your mind a private key. No need to understand right now. You control your money with this private key. Here are the key characteristics that make cryptocurrency special and why you should pay attention, okay? Decentralize it. No single authority controls it. It runs on a network of thousands of computers worldwide that help each other to keep that information safe. So no authority can control it. It means no company, no person specific can control it. Everybody works together in this network that doesn't belong to anyone, with computers across the globe that communicate and help each other to maintain this information. The second point is it's digital only. It only exists in a digital form. There is no physical Bitcoin that you can hold. Well, there's novelty ones, but you know what I mean. So when you see all these images on CNBC, on your local coverage, people holding or seeing in some images, it's just for illustration purposes. Bitcoin and all other cryptocurrencies, they only exist in the web, in the digital form. 3, cryptographic security. It uses advanced mathematics to secure transactions and control the creation of new units. That is where the crypto and cryptocurrencies comes from. So in order to keep this new kind of money safe, they have codes inside this new kind of money that protects from people trying to mint new ones. These cryptographic patterns, all this code inside this product, this unit of Bitcoin or any kind of other coin, is that what protects from someone trying to simply mint new ones or copy in a very bad way. Transparent, that's the the four characteristics that make crypto special. Most cryptocurrencies operate on public ledgers, meaning anyone can see all transactions, but no one can identify if that transaction really belongs to you. The fifth key characteristic that make crypto special is pseudonymous. While transactions are public, they are linked to their addresses, not directly to your name. You only can link them directly to your name if you wish. So it's like a Swiss bank account, like a famous politician mentioned it. You can check some accounts, you can see some balances, but you don't know which person owns this account. So we covered these key characteristics, these 5 key characteristics. Now let's bust some myths real quick about crypto and Bitcoin. And you understand that the 4th class, why I make a separation about them is more like a personal opinion instead of some fact. Let's break it down. Let's bust some myths about cryptocurrencies. Myth number 1, cryptocurrencies is not real money because I cannot hold it. Well, let's answer that. 90% of all US dollars only exist as digital entries in computers. You cannot hold most money either. Myth number 2, cryptocurrencies has no value because it's not backed by anything. Neither is the US dollar. Not since 1971, when we left the gold standard, President Nixon said we would not be attached to the gold standard anymore. And money has value because people agree right now that it has value, and that's it. So if we collectively say, hey, we're not gonna endorse dollars anymore, we're not gonna use dollars for nothing, let's use maybe the Brazilian real or the euros or the Chinese currency, the US dollar would go to zero. So there is nothing backing right now the US dollar. Myth number 3, cryptocurrencies is only used by criminals. So let me address this myth. Let's address all together. Less than 1% of all crypto transactions in the world are illicit, are illegal, are provenant from criminal activities. Compared to cash, where estimates suggest 2 to 5% are used in illegal activities. The US dollar is actually the preferred currency of criminals because it's very easy to buy things with US dollar as well. All right, now we know what cryptocurrency is. Let's talk about why it was created. That's the history part of cryptocurrencies. To understand Bitcoin, we need to understand the history of money itself. Do not worry, we'll make this quick and interesting. Thousands of years ago, humans used barter. I will trade your 3 chickens for that cow. The problem? What if I need bread, but the baker does not want chickens? I need bread, but the baker don't want chickens. So we invented money. First, precious metals like gold and silver. These work great because we're scarce, durable, and everyone wants them. Then came paper money. Instead of carrying heavy gold, you could carry a piece of paper that represented that gold. Banks would hold your gold and give you a paper certificate. Fast forward to the 20th century, credit cards, digital banking, online payments, money became mostly digital. Then came in 2008, the global financial crisis. Banks collapsed, governments bailed them out by printing trillions of dollars. People's savings lost value. Trust in the financial system was shattered, completely destroyed. And on October 31 in 2008, in the middle of the financial crisis, someone using the pseudonymous name Satoshi Nakamoto published a 9-page document called Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. This document, known as the Bitcoin white paper, proposed a revolutionary idea. What if we could create a form of money that did not need banks, did not need governments, and could not be controlled or manipulated by any central authority? On January 3rd of 2009, Satoshi mined the first Bitcoin block. Embedded in that block was a message: a chancellor on the brink of a second bailout for banks. This was not just code, it was a statement, a protest against the broken financial system. And here's the crazy part. To this day, nobody knows who Satoshi Nakamoto really is. Could be one person, could be a group, could be a man, could be a woman. They disappeared in 2011 and never revealed their identity. But they left behind something that would change the world forever. So we understood all of that, this great history, but so why Satoshi created Bitcoin? What problems was it designed to solve? Let me break down the three main problems, okay? Let's focus on the problem one, number one, centralized control. In our current system, central banks and governments have complete control over our money. They can print more money whenever they want, which devalues the money you already have. In 2020 alone, check this data, the US printed about 20% of all dollars ever created. Think about that. 1/5 of all US dollars were created in a single year. When they print money, your savings lose purchasing power. That's inflation. Your $100 does not buy what it used to. Bitcoin solves this by having a fixed supply, where will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin ever. No one can create more. Not a government, not a bank, not even Satoshi himself. So let's check the problem number two, okay? Financial gatekeepers. Banks act as a middleman for your money. Want to send money internationally? That will be $30 and take 3 to 5 business days. Want to withdraw your own money? There is a daily limit for that. Living in the wrong country? Sorry, no bank can account for you. Recently, JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon said, hey, with the bank of Democrats and Republicans, get over. Saying that as the most normal thing ever do it. Having a platform to keep your money safely is a human necessity today. Shouldn't be treated like it's not. Over 1.4 billion people worldwide do not have access to basic banking services. Bitcoin removes the middleman. It's peer-to-peer. You can send Bitcoin to anyone, anywhere in the world, 24/7, usually within minutes, and for much lower fees. No bank required, no permission needed. So you do whatever you want because of this decentralized network that everybody helps each other with their computational power. When I say computational power, it's just computing, talking to each other everywhere in the world. in a way that even someone very powerful want to seize that cannot do it because it's too sparse, too decentralized. But let's talk about the problem number 3, privacy and surveillance. Something we're entering George Orwell's area here. Every transaction you make with your bank, credit card, or PayPal is tracked, recorded, and monitored. The data is sold, hacked, or used against you. Bitcoin transactions are pseudonymous. They are recorded on a public ledger, on a public book, on a public way to register information, but they are not directly tied to your real world identity. People can see transactions here and there, but they cannot link that transactions belongs to me in a very easy way. You have more privacy, so it's not completely anonymous, which we will discuss in class 3. We are in the class 1, but we will discuss why it's not completely anonymous in class 3. So Bitcoin was created as a response to a broken financial system. It is designed to be decentralized, no single point of control. Computers, every single place in the world, places that we even are prohibited. We know that's a lot of people mining Bitcoin and having Bitcoin software in their computers in places like China that is officially prohibited. So the second point is scarce. Only 21 million will ever exist, different than US dollar that anyone can push a button and print more money. The Bitcoin, you do not have this option. By code protected by this consensus that we're going to talk a little bit more forward, it's not possible to mint more than 21 million. Borderless, works anywhere with internet. Even without internet, there are experiments with radio, experiments with typing, reading down paper, so you cannot stop Bitcoin. Transparent, all transactions are public, but not tied to your name. Secured, protected by advanced cryptography, which is a combinations of numbers and codes and mathematical patterns and equations to make sure that no one, even with the most incredible computer in the world or a collection of the most computers in the world, can beat down and turn off the network. Of course, there's talk about quantum computing, but we're going to talk forward that it's not a threat and even can be a helpful ally to Bitcoin cryptography. Now, let's talk about how Bitcoin is different from the money you use every single day, okay? So let me show you a side-by-side comparison between Bitcoin and traditional money, like the US dollar. Let's check the control. Who's control who? The US dollar is controlled by the Federal Reserve and the US government. Bitcoin is controlled by no one. It's decentralized across thousands of computers. We talk about control. Let's talk about supply. US dollar, unlimited. So governments can print more money whenever they want. Bitcoin, on the other side, fixed at 21 million units. Mathematically enforced scarcity. Let's talk about creation. US dollar was created by the government decree. They just decided to make more. Bitcoin, on the other side, created through mining, which is computers solving complex math problems to create Bitcoins. So here's an important part. Where the Bitcoins come from this software that connects computers around the world And in order to create more Bitcoins, they have to talk with each other, use this computational power, use electricity, use power, solve these complex mathematical problems that only the software itself can solve right now, and create new Bitcoins. And every 4 years we have this called a halving. So the creation is have a specific number and it's cut it down 50% every, generally not every single, but generally 4 years, and after that more 4 years, after that 4 years also too. So let's talk about the transaction speed internationally. US dollar, when you want to send something from Brazil to China, Brazil to US, from Brazil to Europe, or Europe to United States, or Europe to South Africa, generally takes right now, is getting more faster because of stable coins. That is something we're going to talk a little bit further in this 4-class course. But in the past, in recent past, it was around like 3 to 5 business day through banks. Bitcoin, in the other side, 10 minutes to 1 hour, depending how much people are using the system uh, uh, in the same time. 24 hours, including weekends. So your bank is closed Sunday morning, stocks are closed, and now open it Sunday morning, but your Bitcoin payment rails are ready to go. Let's talk about fees. International transfer. US dollar is around $25 to $50 average for wire transfers. Bitcoin, the other side, varies, but is usually $1 to $10 depending on the network congestion. We talk about $10 in a really something happening, like someone very important is buying or selling something, so that's why it goes to $10. And we'll talk about, like, if you're transferring $1 billion, will be the same fees to the person that is transferring $10. So it's for everyone. Let's talk about transparency. US dollar is opaque. You cannot see what is happening with the money supply in real time. You are kind of dependent how much the government will share the data with you. But Bitcoin, the other side, Bitcoin is completely transparent. Every single transaction is public on the blockchain. This blockchain is this book that registers all, that registered all transactions, that is sparse, is decentralized around the world. So let's suppose that computers in the United States want to change some kind of transactions, but this would conflict with all the other computers around the world. So it cannot be possible. We would see that's something wrong. So our computers should have this consensus of, if Caitlin made a transaction to Sarah and Sarah received it, so it cannot be modified, it is immutable. Nobody can change, and that's preserves truth. Let's talk about divisibility. US dollar can be divided to cents. 100 cents is equal $1. Bitcoin, the other side, can be divided to Bitcoin, the other side, can be divided to 8 decimal places. 1 BTC, 0.000000001 BTC is called a Satoshi. That's the form of compared to cents, right? Satoshi is kind of a mimic of the idea of cent, even if it's not exactly is. Let's talk about inflation. US dollar inflationary by design. Your money loses value over time. Bitcoin is deflationary by design. Limited supply means potential value increases. So when you have scarcity, people tend to lift that price up. When you have something they can find anywhere, everywhere, like water, generally is cheap. Some places, some countries, water is scarce. That's why the price also goes up. Caesar resistance. Let's talk about US dollar. Can be frozen or seized by the banks or governments. In the other side, Bitcoin, if you control your private keys that we spoke in the beginning of this class, the private keys, the code that can secure access to your Bitcoin should be not shared with anyone. Only your public keys to receive Bitcoin from somewhere. But your private keys, if you control your private keys, no one, absolutely no one can take from you. Oh, but my brother was hacked. Maybe he did something wrong in the process. Maybe he installed a malware that could see the seed phrase, the private keys. Maybe he wrote in a paper and his nephew saw it and took away from him. But considering the technology itself, without all this inside circumstances and information, no one can hack brute force from you. So be careful what are you downloading. Be careful what website you're accessing. The idea is better when you use a device without internet. Only focus it on storage Bitcoin. Maybe it can be a up-to-date cell phone with very small number, very essential number of applications, but will be turned off 90% of the 99% of the time, and then only use it to store Bitcoin. You have this private companies producing very good wallets for that single purpose, but they are maybe expensive. So check if you have the amount, a sufficient amount that will justify this kind of investment. So you have some strategies to, storage safely your Bitcoin, but no one can brute force their way into your balance. Now, does this mean Bitcoin is better than dollars? Well, it depends on what you need. For everyday purchases at your local grocery store, dollars are more convenient. Everyone accepts them, and transactions are instant, and there is no learning curve. Everybody knows dollars, everybody accepts dollars, even outside US. But for storing value long-term, 10, 20, 30 years, sending money internationally without these companies like Western Union that charge a lot of fees, your bank, your international bank, a local bank, or protecting yourself against inflation and government overreach, Bitcoin has some serious advantages for you. Think of this way. Bitcoin is not trying to replace the dollar tomorrow. It's offering an alternative, a choice, and a choice is always good. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but how does Bitcoin actually work? I'm going to give you a simple explanation now, and then in the class 2, we will dive deep into blockchain technology, this public book. But here's the basic idea. Imagine a bank. The bank keeps a ledger, a record book of everyone's account balances. John has $500. Sarah has $1,000. When John sends to Sarah $100, the bank updates the ledger. John now has $400 and Sarah has $1,100. The problem is only the bank has this ledger. You have to trust the bank to keep accurate records and not manipulate them. Bitcoin flips this on its head. Instead of one ledger held by a bank, it can be multiple, information can be changed by conflict of interest. There's thousands of copies of the ledger, this book, held by computers all over the world. When someone makes a Bitcoin transaction, it is broadcasted to the entire network. These computers, called nodes, all verify that the transaction is legitimate. Then miners computers doing the complex calculations to produce Bitcoin, add this transaction to the ledger, this book, in a block. So this information is held together inside in a block that we can imagine as a physical block. Just imagine it's not a physical block, it's a digital block. But you can imagine for the sake of understanding as a block. Each block is a cryptographically linked to the previous block, creating a chain of blocks, a blockchain. Once a transaction is added to the blockchain, it is permanent. It cannot be changed or deleted. All right, let's recap what we covered in class 1. What cryptocurrency is and why it matters in 2025. We answered that. The history of money and why Bitcoin was created. We covered that. The problems Bitcoin solves is centralized control, financial gatekeepers, and privacy. We also talked about that. How Bitcoin compares to traditional money. We explained that. The basics of how Bitcoin blockchain work. We talked about that also too. And real world applications happening right now. So we gave to you some examples. Now, here's how to access class 2. Pay attention, this is important. Where you go deep into blockchain technology, Ethereum, DeFi, DEXs, stablecoins, and all these buzzing words and the entire crypto ecosystem, class 1 is free and open on YouTube and our website. But to receive class 2 and 3 and class 4, you need to subscribe to our free course newsletter. Repeating, this course is free from end to end. Everything is free. So I will continue explaining to you. Just click in the link in the description below and sign up. It's completely free. When you subscribe, you get class 2 and 3 and 4 delivered directly to your inbox. The complete course 100% free. Your professional certificate at the end, also 100% free. Weekly crypto insights and market analysis, 100% free. So absolutely is free here. Make no mistake. Everything's free. No credit card required. No hidden costs. Just pure education. So with the email, we can continue, let you know new courses and stuff like that. And also we can ask for feedback. Complete all 4 classes and you will get your free professional certificate that you can add to your LinkedIn profile. So right now, go to the description, click on the link and subscribe to class 2. Over 2,000 people are already learning with us at blockberg.com/for-newsletter. Thanks for watching class 1. I will see you in class 2, where we will dive deep into blockchain technology and unlock the entire crypto ecosystem. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and share with your friends or someone who needs to understand crypto in 2025. See you in the next class. Bye.